Good morning, everyone, and I would like to introduce you to my circle. Now, this may not look like much to you, but this is actually a very powerful concept when we talk about restorative justice. So what's happening in this circle right now is Big Skull, right here, he and Little Skull actually did some really mean things to Mr. Plank right here, causing Plank harm. And so when Plank went and spoke with the principal, Mr. Captain Jack right here, Mr. Captain Jack, instead of immediately suspending Big Skull and Little Skull or putting them in detention, he decided to bring everyone together in one room so that Big Skull and Little Skull can understand the harm that they inflicted on Plank. But also, Plank has to be able to understand where Little Skull and Big Skull were coming from. Now, the teachers, John here and Peter here and Kanan there, they are just here to facilitate the conversation. They're not here to be the heroes, to save the day, to come up with an ultimate solution. Actually, what they are all trying to accomplish is to establish a realm of understanding and community. Now, the beautiful thing about this circle and the beautiful thing about restorative justice is that it helps people, the victims and the offenders, come to some kind of understanding, a better understanding that they had of one another than they had before when the harm was actually done. Harm is actually a really, really big tenet in restorative justice. It started in the justice systems, of course, and now it is being adapted in schools all over the United States and all over the world, really. I was looking at some research from Australia that shows some really interesting things. Now, as it relates to my school, restorative justice kind of gives me a little bit of a pause because it is used mostly in districts where there is high violence and high suspension rates. My school district is neither, okay? Also, restorative justice is used, some view it as being used primarily in school districts where they have high minority rates. My school district does not fit that qualification. But where I see restorative practices really having a benefit is for this right here, for the circles. I think I've told you before that in our detention, students come in, they sit, do homework, or copy cardinal codes, but there is no real reflection and there is no establishment of community. The students don't talk to one another. The offender and the victim, they don't talk. There's no understanding. And so what I'm wondering is whether restorative practices, when used in conjunction with the establishment of a new culture, with the establishment of new norms of interactions between students, teachers, and administration and other staff in the building, if we could use restorative practices to take some of those repeat behaviors that land students chronically in detention and use it possibly to rehabilitate those behaviors from a standpoint of, okay, I'm in a circle, there's nowhere for me to run, I can't get on Facebook, I can't get on Snapchat, I'm not copying cardinal codes, I actually have to have a discussion between the group of us about what I did wrong, and I have to understand how I caused harm to someone else. But they also have to understand, the victim has to understand what I was thinking at that time. Now, restorative practices don't eliminate punitive punishments. So detention and suspensions and expulsions are still on the table, okay? But what restorative practices do is take you through a process whereby you try to build the community first. And if that doesn't work, then the punitive punishments come into place. Now, of course, there are so many, there are detractors out there because it costs a lot. It requires a lot of time and training and resources. I believe in San Francisco they had a peer court system that went under because it was never able to get fully funded. I read an article that I included in my project where a lady was saying that you need to absolutely hire a restorative practice justice, someone to be full-time in your district to help you with these matters, and those don't come cheap. I mean, let's face it, districts all over the United States are strapped for money. So there would have to be some conversations about how to successfully implement this. But if I could leave you with anything, again, I want to focus on this circle, okay? Y'all, community is everything. And PSEL 5 talks about how it's the purpose of an educational leader to create a safe and caring environment. Building a community creates a safe and caring environment in which everybody, teachers, students, administrators, can thrive. So I hope that you have gotten something out of my summary from my report. I really enjoyed doing it. 6 to 7 pages wasn't nearly enough for all of the reading that I did and all of the things that I learned. But I hope I was able to convey to you a little bit of it and hopefully make you a little bit more excited about the prospect and how it might fit into your district as well. So this is Justin, and this is Justin's Circle, signing off. Bye.